Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Roll the Dice. This is the show that happens every second and fourth Friday of every month. Am I muted? I'm not. Excellent. I just wanted to make sure, right? Second and fourth Friday of every month at this time, which if you're watching live makes sense. If you're not, it doesn't. It's 8 p.m. Central and equivalent in other time zones. Not mathing right now. Math is hard. Let's go shopping. Okay. Um, we are a short form improv team that does fun stuff like you might have seen on some other shows, but ours is unique because we actually roll a die, which we'll get to in a minute. But in the meantime, let's introduce you to the group. Can I have our team come on out? I am Jess. Who else we got?
I'm Alfred.
I'm Maya.
I'm Cassie.
And we have a special guest this week.
Hi, I'm Sophia. Thanks for having
Yes.
me.
Welcome, Sophia. Thank you for joining us. It's really good to have you. And this is the group that will be performing for you tonight. We're going to start very simply with a game that we've chosen to start with. And then after that, we're going to roll that die to have a random game come up after that. So the game we're going to start with is Love Lists. From the audience, I need a suggestion of a word, any old word that you can think of, and I'll explain the game here. First, however, I'm going to reload the page because I'm not seeing the chat, and that happens sometimes. All right, the chat is showing. So, all right, we've got a suggestion here. We've got tent. Tent is the suggestion. So, everybody off camera, except for one person, whoever's last.
Tents. I love tents. You can they're coverage and they're portable. You can take them anywhere. You can stick them in the back of your car, and they're very viable, protective kind of, secure area, and you can still be in communion with the outside. You can, hear rivers and lakes and I don't know.
Rivers. I love Rivers, specifically Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers, she was stylish. She was kind of she was feisty. She was so feisty. And she had really cool blonde hair that everyone knew about, right?
I love blonde hair. So I am a natural brunette, and all the cute boys in high school were blonde. And they were the ones that everybody thought were handsome and beautiful. They were the ones that dated the cheerleaders. They were the ones that were the quarterback on the football team.
I love quarterbacks. I mean, it's the most crucial spot in the game of football. If you don't have a quarterback, how do you run a play? And if you can't run plays, then how do you score points? And
I love plays. I love plays. Plays are the best. Playing is good too. Plays in theater are that you just go and you watch these people act out stories.
I love watches. You put them on your wrist. They tell you what time it is. You can have multiples of them if you want to really be ostentatious. They can be cheap, they can be expensive, they can be a Rolex.
I love Rolex. I mean, what makes a statement more than a Rolex on your wrist? And when I see someone coming down the street,
I love wrists. Oh my God, wrists are the best joint in the body. They make your hand bend, and you can put cool things around them like friendship bracelets if you're a Swiftie.
I love friendship bracelets. I mean, maybe I've aged out of it, but I don't feel like I have because, like, I used to go to Grateful Dead shows. People would always exchange these bracelets, and now they're doing it Taylor Swift shows. I love concerts where people are exchanging these
Concerts. I
bracelets.
love concerts. I love hearing music live without auto tune. I love the fact that people can improvise.
Okay, but I love auto tune. Auto tune is like anybody can sound cool. Like I can have a hit out there on Spotify now because of auto tune. And like it doesn't matter. It's the epitome of fake it till you make it.
Matter. I love matter. Matter is the opposite of antimatter. And when the two of them meet, and matter is something that a family does if you're in the 90s.
I love families, a unit of people connected by bloodlines and with common goals, all living together
I
in harmony.
love blood. Blood is my favorite. Blood makes me live. Vampires drink it. It's probably very refreshing and hydrating. It's the beverage of the the dark world. It's
The
I love
dark
to
world.
the
drink.
dark world. Sparkling
Okay.
beverage. Yeah.
Awesome. I love blood is the one we end on, of course. Okay, go ahead and clear the stage. Let's see if I set this up right. Hold on. Of course I did not. Hold on. Nope, wrong one. Okay. Cool. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to roll this die and choose the game that we will play next. So let us do that. Roll. 19, it just came up. Panel of experts. So for this, I need 4 people. And we're going to get some suggestions from the audience. So 4 people up, not including me. Perfect. That's everybody but me. From the audience, I need various things. I need maybe a magazine or newspaper. I need maybe a time period in history. I need maybe an age that someone could be. I need yeah, those are things. So let's start with that. And all right, Sophia, you are a reporter from the Lunar Times. The Lunar Times. Maya, you are 42 years old, whatever that means.
Okay.
It's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So we're still waiting on a few more. Let's see here. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, Alfred, you are from the age of Aquarius. And waiting. Cassie, you are, I'm not sure what this is, but you can figure something out for it. You are from Reader Rabbit. Do you know what Reader Rabbit is? Because I don't. That's okay. You got it. I have faith in you. Now, from the audience, I'm going to need something about which this panel could be talking. Just a subject of some kind that a panel might get together to discuss, possibly at a convention, possibly on YouTube. Yeah, so a panel is going to discuss some topic. What topic is that? Solar power. So, from the audience, I'm going to need some questions about solar power to ask our panel. But in the meantime, I would like the panel to answer this question. What is solar power? So let's start with our Lunar Times representative.
Yes, thank you for having me. As you all know, the Lunar Times is your leading source of headlines, news, and all the latest hot goss from the lunar surface. That's right, news from the moon. That's what we do. And what the answer to your question, what is solar power? It's clearly something from, it's yesterday's news. Buddies, today, lunar power is where it's at. It's the next big thing. We've been reporting on it on the ground from it's in the early stages. We are on top of it. Lunar power is going to take over. Solar power, what is it? It's old news. Forget about it.
All right, moving on.
Yes, so solar power. I mean, Will it help me do my laundry? Will it pay my bills? It may help me offset some of my bills, but that's only when it's not cloudy outside and when there's not enough humidity. So solar power, it's a choice.
Rita Rabbit?
Hi, I'm Rita from Rita Rabbit, and we're going to play a little game today. Solar power. It's 2 words. Solar power.
Okay. And Age of Aquarius.
When the moon passes out of range and the sun burns bright, it can make all our Teslas go. It's the age of Solarius, age of Solarius.
Very good. All right, we do have some questions now. How is efficiency improving? And let's start with Rita Rabbit.
That is a great question. And for that, we're going to go to basic math. 2 plus 2 equals 4. And 3 plus 1 also equals 4. And that is efficiency right there.
All right. And let's hear from our 42-year-old.
It's not perimenopause, I'll tell you that.
Okay. And back to Age of Aquarius.
Technology is the enemy, man. All we need is the sun, peace, and love. And that's all we need to power our hearts. And if our hearts are powered, everything is groovy.
And finally, our lunar times.
Solar efficiency is not so improving. That's why it's yesterday's news. Lunar efficiency is much more efficient, especially for the vibes.
Okay. This is open to anyone. We'll only take 2 answers on this one. How good are solar powered flashlights?
I'd
Not
like
as
to take that.
lunar powered flashlights.
Anyone
Yeah.
else?
I'll take that. I mean, do you have a teenager at home? Because if you do, I can assure you, not very good. Because where do they keep them? Usually under a pile of laundry. So then where do they get the solar from? Huh? Not from the sun.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Is it can you put it in a jar? Solar power. Can you put it in a jar? Yeah.
So in the 60s, I had this jar full of an unknown substance. And for years, we were trying to figure it out. And then we finally took it to a scientist. And he opened the jar and he said, "My friend, this jar is filled with love."
Lunar times.
In 2015, a visitor to the lunar surface actually brought 3 jars of solar power, and when they opened them, just like it was a big nothing happened. We were ready to report on it. We did report on it. It didn't win us any awards.
Okay. A last question. Which is better, roof or yard? And I'll open this up to everyone. Roof or yard for solar power?
I would say the yard is better. The roof is a very dangerous place, and you should not get up there without your mom or dad. You need to stay on the ground. So I would say the yard is better for safety.
Yeah, Aquarius.
I was in the yard for Woodstock laying on the grass, and it rained and it rained. But then the sun came out and it dried me off and it warmed me up and it tanned me. And there was no roof at Woodstock, so the obvious answer is yard.
Okay. 42.
I'm gonna go with roof, only because when you have kids and animals, it's a lot harder to prevent them from being broken or, having kids they're sticky. So kids are sticky. If they get their sticky hands all over it, if it's in the yard, and then you have to clean it. I don't have time for cleaning. So I'm all for hiring a contractor. Do not ask your spouse because that can lead a whole other way. But hire a contractor to put it on your roof and everyone will be happy.
Lunar Power, take us home. Lunar
Yeah,
Time.
roof and yard are both fine if you want to continue living in the past. We just broke the story yesterday that lunar power, in fact, requires neither the roof nor the yard. Lunar power just works in the cloud.
In the cloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you very much to our panel. I appreciate you all. You can find your payment if you go outside. All right, let us get back to our die and see what we're doing next. 5, we're gonna do lines. So from the audience, what I'm gonna need is a bunch of little snippets that you've heard, maybe in a play or a movie or a television show or the last text you received. Keep it family friendly. And any other a book if you read those. Anything else that you may have heard, just short little lines. And what I'm going to need is 3 people. 3 people up. What's going to happen here is there's going to be a scene, and in the scene, periodically, one of the actors is going to forget their lines, and they're going to say something along the lines of They're going to say something along the lines of, yeah, I understand. I was going to the and they will reach out to the camera and say and then I will supply one of the lines that you're writing in the chat right now. The actor will repeat that line and continue with the scene. This is going to happen several times, quite a few times, so I need lots and lots of those lines so this scene can keep going. The suggestion for the beginning of this scene is going to be taken from earlier, and we'll say that deep sea diving is your suggestion. So I will get off and here you go, deep sea diving.
I think I ate a bad oyster.
And if you don't want to dive, just say you don't want to dive.
Look, I'm still dealing with the trauma from that, okay? That's why.
Yeah, I understand. Seeing, where the oyster came from and its native habitat can be a little bit, disturbing. In addition to it was a bad oyster. I mean, like, what did it do? Did it call you names or? I mean, because there might be
Stole
some
from
nice
me,
oysters down there.
made crank calls from my phone, all kinds of stuff.
I think there might be some nice oysters if we go down there. We can look for them. That can be like your special mission. Or
Cutie on board.
cutie on board. Yeah. Yeah. You on board? Come on, let's go. Let's do it.
Come on,
Yeah.
Mickey. All right. I'll go. I'll do it.
Did you bring all your gear?
Yeah, I got it right here. Sure.
Oh, wait, one thing. I think I forgot my
That's no moon.
I think I forgot my that's no moon. It's my, I take it on every dive.
Your ex-husband sometimes gives you a going away present, but he's not here. Yeah, let's just do it anyway. Come on, let's dive. Three, two, wait. I just have one concern.
Exit stage left.
Exit stage left if, I freak out about the oysters again. Huh? How?
We'll go slowly. We'll take deep breaths.
You had me at hello.
I mean, you had me at hello, so I'm sure you're gonna have the oysters at hello. And it could be that the oyster was bad because it was up here. Down there, it could be a totally different land. I mean, it is a totally different landscape.
You're right. I never greeted those oysters that were bad. Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah, you have to greet the oysters or
Show up on time, bring snacks, know the rules.
show up on time, bring snacks, know the rules. Number 3 most important things on diving.
But there's a lot of stuff. Like, they didn't cover this in the class. All they told me was,
If you're not doing anything else, roll the dice is on in 20 minutes.
if you're not doing anything else, roll the dice on 20 minutes. So I'm like, all right, I'll just roll over to Whole Foods, grab some oysters that are on sale right now for $1 each, by the way, and hustle back to watch my favorite improvisational podcast, blog, vlog, whatever you people call these newfangled television shows on the computer.
I appreciate that you have such a diverse interest in so many different things. But, I bet we can catch Roll the Dice on replay upon return. You know what I mean? So let's
Plans are for fools.
forget planning right now. Plans are for fools. Let's just
Yeah.
dive in.
And that's the game. Plans are for fools. Thank you, everyone. Plans are for fools came from, it's Timothy, and he's right. Plans are for fools. That's why we improvise.
Hey.
Cool. Let's go to one more game before we go to our middle of the show. So rolling it, rolling it, rolling it.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
We just did that. Rolling again. Soap opera. This is we're gonna need the title of a soap opera that doesn't exist. And we're gonna need 3 people on the stage. This is a game where our soap opera is just like the old telenovelas. It's going to be very melodramatic, right? And what's going to happen is somebody will always be in this position. Someone, nope, just one. And someone else will always be in this position. And someone else will always be in this position. But no 2 people can be in any one position at any time. They will change position. This will be fun. All the while performing a soap opera. The name of the soap opera is All My Doggies. Begin.
Oh, Sarah, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. I don't like the dogs here.
Ay, Dios mío, but the dogs have really good hearing.
What are we gonna do?
We should give them earplugs.
Earplugs for dogs?
Oh,
That's the best idea I've ever heard.
revolutionary.
But I just used the last of my earplugs this morning.
Oh no. Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? They can hear us.
We're gonna have to go to the store for more earplugs.
Oh no.
I have an idea. We stop talking and only text.
Oh, Why are your ideas always so good?
Oh, do you think they'll hear us though, texting, with the alerts and things?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, my dog knows text typing. He knows when I'm typing. When I type drive, he knows exactly what word I'm saying.
Oh no, I just knew that your dog was the one that was secretly enhanced in that lab to do evil.
What are you talking about?
No.
Yes.
Hey, I just got a text from a dog. It's an evil text. Okay. That is that game. Let's get everyone on stage right now. We're going to play or at least learn a little bit about our guest today. So let me bring up what I've got because I know things that the rest of the team does not.
Including
So
me, because I think I
our
forgot.
special guest, Sophia, has hold on. Um, in middle school, Sophia performed something very interesting. What did Sophia perform in middle school? On stage, I assume, right? Yes, on stage. Something that Sophia performed. And you in the audience can also play. Your guesses can go in the chat, but in the meantime, let's hear from the team.
Did you tightrope walk backwards?
I did not.
Sophia, it seems like the number one play between elementary and middle school is Wizard of Oz. By chance, were you Dorothy in Wizard of Oz?
It's not, sadly. I wish.
Does it involve gymnastics?
No, it does not.
We have some guesses from the audience. We have the Heimlich maneuver that
Ah,
came from Rational Rampage.
that
From
one
Natalie, we've
may have
got
been.
what?
That's like a maybe. I don't remember. Maybe I did do that in middle school.
We have from Natalie, baseball on stage for some reason. We have from Frank, Christmas tree. Jay says, a boy named Sue. Rational Rampage says, All My Children, the musical. And yes, Timothy asks if it was an elaborate Liberace cosplay. That's a throwback to an old episode here. Wasn't any of those things?
It was not.
Okay.
It did involve a song. So some of them are, but all of those things sound like fun things I should have been doing in middle school.
More guesses from the team?
Was it the Barry Manilow medley of commercials that he wrote?
No, but that also sounds awesome.
Sophia, are you a closet fire baton twirler?
Oh no, I want to be.
Did you roller skate while singing Yankee Doodle Dandy?
No, I did do a lot of roller skating, but this was not the performance.
I'm going to read a few more guesses from the audience, and then we're going to hear the answer if one of them isn't correct. Frank says the Van Trapp family, or Von Trapp, I assume. Yes, Timothy said, did you perform as a puppet? Rational Rampage asks basketball or the Book of Mormon. Yes, Timothy says surgery. Rational Rampage says Flight of the Valkyries on Kazoo, which definitely is a possibility. And Natalie says Little Shop of Horrors is Audrey too. And then Frank says Funny Girl. Were any of those correct?
What was the one before Flight of the Valkyries on Kazoo?
Surgery. Did you
No,
perform
before that.
surgery?
Or surgery?
Book of
Oh,
Mormon.
Book of Mormon. Yeah, I just want to say it wasn't that, but I'm very flattered that you thought I was in middle school and Book of Mormon was out. Thank you for that. No, it was none of
All right,
those.
what was it, Sophia?
Okay, in middle school, we had a very bizarre activity. It was probably about fourth grade. All the fourth graders had to do it, and it was called Song Poem. And the task was to choose a song that the teachers had to approve and do a dramatic recitation on a stage in front of parents and teachers of the song as a poem, hence the very creative name Song Poem. Um, and I was people did all sorts of great songs, and I did a dramatic recitation of the Gilligan's Island theme song. That's the kind of kid I was.
The weather started getting rough.
A 3-hour tour. It
The
repeats.
tiny ship was tossed.
If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The
All
point of that activity is to this day beyond me.
I feel like the
is-
parents probably really felt the 3-hour
Effort.
tour more than anything else.
Also,
Okay, while I
yeah.
have you all here, let's hear if anyone has anything to pitch. Sophia, you go first. Do you have anything to pitch?
Yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian in Chicago. You can catch me around town. If you're Chicago based, I'll be at the Den Theater next month, July 24th. But I also go to other cities sometimes and perform, and you can follow all that on my Instagram. It's at Soph Javed on Instagram, and I post all my happenings there. Thank you.
That's awesome. Anyone else?
Yeah, if you're in San Jose tomorrow evening, I'll be reffing a comedy sports match. So come on by. We're on Thornwood.
I am so in Northern Colorado, we have a branch of the WIFMCO Women in Film and Media Colorado, and I'm the chair. And we are putting together a series called Lights, Camera, Accessibility, and the first of them will be July 28th. It's filmmaking for and by the deaf and hard of hearing community. So that's July 28th in Greeley at the link. So you can find info at wifmco.org or at wifmco on Instagram.
Awesome. Anything from you, Cassie?
No, I catch me here the second and fourth Fridays of every month. Roll the dice.
And I don't have anything to promote right now, but I'm working on it. So more information on that another time. All right, so let's clear the stage and get me not blurry. Cool. And I will bring up our roller again.
It just means people have to tune in to find out what you have to say later.
Exactly. You got it on the nose. The next one is Thunderdome. Two will enter, one will leave. So what's going to happen here is we'll get two people up. And what's going to happen is we're going to have categories. So we need one category to get started. So something like types of car or names for pet names or something like that. And what's going to happen is our two competitors are going to take turns naming those things. If either of them takes too long or repeats something, somebody's going to call them on it, and then they are going to replace the person who got buzzed out, and we will say two may enter, one will leave. One may leave. What? We'll do it. It's fine. So to start us off, the category is Star Trek villains.
Khan!
Vulcans,
Tribbles.
the Death Star,
Spock.
those weird women that tried to seduce Captain Kirk.
Nope, you're out, Alfred. The Death Star.
Two will enter. One will
One will
leave.
leave.
Two
Two
will
will
enter.
enter.
Alfred, you come up with a category.
Like like there's a microwave oven, other like really like great ideas for the future of technology that flopped.
Unsliced bread.
Roller skates that went sideways.
A knife that doesn't cut.
Skateboards without any rollers on them.
Butter that doesn't spread.
Bananas that don't peel.
AOL.
Two will
Enough.
enter, one
I'm gonna
will.
call you on that. That AOL freaking rocks. I'm still on there, man. Getting all kinds of messages and stuff once it
So
dials
Maya,
up.
you get to pick the next category.
Okay, types of socks.
Tube,
Ankle.
argyle,
The type where you punch someone.
knee,
Hobby.
Two will
Oh.
enter.
Enter, one
One
will
will
leave.
All right, your category is facial hair.
Oh, chin,
get out, yo.
nose,
Hair.
Mustachio.
hair in your nose.
Oh, okay.
Unibrow,
Ear hair that comes down so low it becomes facial hair.
regular eyebrows, 2 of them.
Eyelashes are hair. That counts.
This little bit between my hairline and eyebrow that sometimes closes up if I'm not on it, get it cleaned up on time.
This is just baby hair.
Fuzz,
There's a rabbit on my face.
2 will enter,
Enter.
1
One
may
will
leave.
leave.
which one of us was out?
Oh, that's Alfred. He's out.
But that's a facial hair. Come on. All
We're
right,
gonna call
all
it
right,
there.
all
We're
right.
gonna call it there. All right, let's do
appeal. Ask for an appeal.
Orange
you do
peel?
a facial peel. Yeah. All right. Let's see what our next game is.
Hostile work environment.
We just did Loveless, so we're gonna go again. 9, Calvin Ball. Okay, Calvin Ball. Calvin Ball is a fun game. From the audience, what I need is a one-word suggestion that will start our scene. But Calvin Ball is a game for 2 people, and they're going to do a scene, and the rest of the group will periodically throw out a new rule. It's like Calvin Ball from Calvin and Hobbes, where the rules change arbitrarily. So we're going to get a one-word suggestion. 2 people are going to start a scene, and then the back line, which is the rest of us, will occasionally throw out a rule that one or both of the players, as we call it out, will have to adhere to, and the rules will stack. So, can I get 2 players? All right, we have our 2 players, and your suggestion is steak.
Steak?
Steak, whichever form of that you want.
I'm vegetarian. I can't have. I can't believe you brought me to a steakhouse.
Oh my God, Maya, but I know you're vegetarian, but steak is like, oh my God, a nice reverse sear ribeye. Are you kidding me? It will change your mind on the whole vegetarianism thing. It's beautiful. It'll be the best thing you've ever tasted.
Okay, but like I have watched enough cooking competitions to know that a reverse sear is subpar. I'm just saying, I mean, even the mashed potatoes, the gravy, it's all Metasaurus Rex.
Oh, you don't need the gravy or the mashed potatoes, and how dare you put down the reverse sear. Now, I don't know how you as a vegetarian prepare your steaks, but reverse sear is where it's at. But I don't know what's gonna have to happen. What do I have to do to get you to try it?
Is it a reverse sear on a cauliflower steak? Because I could be convinced.
Gosh, cauliflower steak, that's
So
not
good.
it's just a chunk of cauliflower.
That is so good. And it's
Sing it.
juicy. It's juicy. So juicy. You can't believe how
The same
juicy.
thing. No
Oh.
way, it's a vegetable.
But it's a steak. A cauliflower steak.
Cauliflower steak is just as ridiculous as oat milk.
Okay, no singing, but you are giraffes.
I don't know. You're really enjoying those leaves. I used to enjoy these leaves too. Believe me, it's the most convenient thing for us to eat. But I had my eyes opened and my neck lowered to the beauty and deliciousness of a good steak.
You like eating our friends?
I do. I do. I mean, I'm not eating giraffes.
Still giraffes, but Sophia is questions only.
I mean, what do I gotta do to get you to try it?
It's not gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
Never.
Why not?
I'm vegetarian. I prefer the leafy greens.
Choice, Maya.
What was that?
New choice.
I prefer to leave everyone guessing and be a challenging and difficult customer at a restaurant.
New choice.
I like testing the culinary expertise of the chefs when they learn I'm vegetarian.
Why would you do that?
Because I can.
It's a cop drama.
Because I can. Dun dun.
I'm gonna stop you right there because after we either need a commercial or we need to stop. So we're going to go to our die.
Hmm.
17 alter ego. All right. From the audience, I'm going to need a one-word suggestion. I might go back to the one-word suggestions that you gave earlier. And everyone who's going to play this, let's do 3 people. Everyone who is going to play this will need a puppet of some kind. How this works is we're going to have a scene where, as humans, we appear on the screen by ourselves. In the scene, I'm going to call out alter ego or switch. And then the people who are on the stage will become their puppet. And the puppet will have a characteristic. Maybe I'll talk like this. And when I call out switch again, the actors will come back with that characteristic and continue the scene. So, who do I have? 3 up. All right, we got our 3. I hope you're all armed with a puppet. Your suggestion is youths.
Youths?
Youths.
Like youths theater?
What is a youth?
What's a youth? Youths.
I love that movie.
So I look out my window and somebody's walking across my lawn. And I look more closely and I realize it's Utes.
Did you need your ear horn to see them?
No, I needed some my readers,
Fair enough.
And I yelled out, like, get off my lawn!
Classic.
They
Dad,
ignored.
this is why we keep getting phone calls from the neighbors. You gotta stop yelling out the window.
Well, it's the
Switch.
bullhorn.
Switch.
Afternoon! Good afternoon!
Dad,
What were you saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
stop barking at everyone.
What I do?
Um,
My dad, I bark.
Switch.
So I
How's
feel,
things are, honey?
I feel like maybe, but like windows are there for us to scream out of. I mean, right? Why else would we have them?
I just get a little territorial sometimes.
It happens. They're not supposed to be on the lawn.
Mom, Dad, we've had this discussion so many times. Okay? If you're gonna yell out the window, we're gonna have to keep the curtains closed.
But I want them to look at me and feel fear.
Switch.
Me too. I may be a little, but I'm mighty.
And you're only as old as you feel. So I feel young and sprightly. Yes. Yes.
Neither one of you looks scary or old, but you just can't yell out the window anymore.
That's correct. You can't yell out the window anymore. Okay, we're done.
You look old.
Maybe not. Okay. We will play one more. This is the penultimate game, the game before the last game, hence the term penultimate.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's
Ooh.
get to our die for the penultimate game.
Whoa.
We just did that. Ooh, it's a quick fire game. That's usually what we end with. So we may do 2 quick fires. We'll see. It's improv. We got to roll with it. Oh, roll.
Oh, you punny.
All right.
Nice.
So we're going to roll. Oops, I came back too soon. We have to roll the quick fire die. The quick fire die is a 12-sided die. We're going to play 185. So from the audience, what I need is animals and occupations, not smushed together separately. Give us some animals, give us some occupations, animals, occupations, animals, occupations. And I need everybody on screen for this. So this works like this. There is this old joke, and I don't know why it is like this. 185 blanks walk into a bar, and then we're going to do a joke based on that because it's a quick fire joke. There are puns. I love puns. You may not love puns. That's okay. You're going to hear them anyway. So 185 construction work. You're all smushing up some things. Stop it. I said not to. We're just going to go with construction workers. 185 construction workers.
"185 construction workers walk into a bar. Bartender says, 'Whoa, I can't serve you. You guys are hammered.'"
185 construction workers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "You all look like you've had a hard day. Let me get you something to hydrate yourself. What do you have?" And they're like, "You know what, dude? Nailed it."
185 construction workers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "What can I get you?" And they say, "You know what? I'm not drinking tonight. I'd just like an OSHA spray."
185 bartenders walk into a bar after the gym, and the bartender looks at all of them and says, "Damn, y'all are built."
All right, we're gonna move
185 construction workers walk through a bar. Bartender's like, "Let me guess, screwdriver?"
All right, we're gonna go now with stand-up comedians.
Boy.
185 stand-up comedians are already in the bar, but they don't have any credit left at that bar that they work at. It ain't easy doing comedy.
185 stand-up comedians walk into the bar. It's an open mic.
185 stand-up comedians walk into a bar and they all serve each other drinks repeatedly.
185 stand-up comedians walk into the bar. Bartender says, "Oh, I bet you all think you're real funny. Have a seat."
185 stand-up comedians walk into a bar because there were only seats for 35. All right, we're gonna go with oceanographers.
The 185 oceanographers walk into the bar. Bartender says, "I see you. I see you."
185 oceanographers walk into a bar, and they all are just like, we'll just have water.
185 oceanographers walk into a bar and they started looking for all the construction workers because they were oceanographers.
Ah. 185 oceanographers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "What do you have?" And they said, "Just cranberry juice, ocean spray."
185 oceanographers walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "What do you have?" And they said, "We're searching for Pirates Bay."
All right, we're gonna go with cats.
Cats. 185 cats walk into the bar and immediately form a kick line.
185 cats walk into a bar, order drinks, take a sip, and say, perfect.
185 cats walk into a bar. The bartender's like, yo, what's up? What's up with you guys? No. The cat's like, what? And he's like, what is all this litter?
185 cats walk into a bar, but not directly. They walked the Broadway.
Ha.
All right, we're gonna go with jugglers.
185 jugglers walked into the bar, and the bartender says, "No, we're not taking any more applications for cocktail."
Ha.
185 jugglers walk into a bar. Bartender looks at every one of them and says, "Looks like the circus is in town."
185 jugglers walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Can you believe the balls on these guys?" Sorry, that's skirting that.
185 jugglers walk into a bar, and they're all really surprised that there are actually 185 of them.
185 jugglers walk into a bar, and the bartender like giggles, and then the jugglers are like, what are you laughing at? Do I amuse you?
180
Go ahead.
185 jugglers walk into a bar and try to pay with a debit card, but they all forgot their pins.
That's good.
By rights, we should end there, but we still got time. So we're gonna go with paleontologists.
185 paleontologists walk into a bar. Bartender says, sorry, we're closed. Paleontologist's like, we can dig it.
What?
Do they dig, or is that archaeologist?
Same difference.
Yeah, they both dig, I think.
Uh,
185 paleontologists walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Oh, sorry, we're all out of beer." And they're like, "That's cool, no bones about it."
Um, 185 paleontologists walk into a bar. Bartender says, they order their drinks. Bartender is like, "All right, how are you gonna settle up?" And one guy says, I got this, and then he looks at the receipt and he says, "Oh man, that's a lot of bones."
185 paleontologists walk into a bar, get really drunk, and start confessing all their secrets to the bartender, who says, listen, everyone has skeletons in their closet.
All right, we're gonna go with window washers. 185 window washers walk into a bar, and they all wanted some suds.
185 window washers walked into the bar, and the bartender says, "Hey guys, you could have taken the elevator."
Now, 185 window washers walk into a bar. Bartender is thrilled, so happy. He says, "You know what? I am so happy that you're here. You guys have such a squeaky clean reputation."
185
185
window
window
washers.
washers walk to a bar. Bartender goes on his computer. He's like, "Oh God, there's so many of these things here." And the window washers are like, "We can help you with that." Like,
185 window washers walk into a bar, but they walked in through the window because they couldn't see it. It was so clean.
185 window
goats.
washers walk into a bar. Bartender, hands them their glasses, starts to pour out, and he said, "No, no, no, stop, stop." They hold up their glasses. Okay,
We're up to
now.
Billy Goats.
185 window washers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "No more drinks. You're all wasted already." How did he know they had glassy eyes?
Billy Goats.
185 billy goats walk into a bar, and they're like, all like, "We'll have a beer." Yeah.
185 billy goats walk into the bar.
185 billy goats walk into a bar. Bartender's like, What's all these animals?" You don't have to be so gruff.
185
Billy Goats walk into a bar, but they only did it in quantities of 3.
185 billy goats walk into a bar. A bartender looks around. It's gonna be a gruff night.
185 Billy Goats clip clopped into a bar.
185 billy goats walked into the bar, and the bartender said, "You may be billy goats, but there's only one Tom Brady." The goat.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Pet insurance sales agent.
pet insurance.
185 pet insurance sales agents walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Am I dreaming? Is this real?"
185 pet insurance sales agents walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Can I get you something to drink?" And the pet insurance sales agents say, "Actuarily, it's drink."
185 pet insurance salesmen walk into a bar. Bartender's like, "Sorry, you guys aren't allowed here." And they're like, "Why?" And they're like, "It's our policy."
We got one more. Come on, Timothy, really? COBOL programmer for legacy banking software. Let's just go COBOL programmer because that already says it right there.
What is a COBOL programmer?
Remember Y2K? They had people who had to code for that,
Yeah.
and it was like already a dead language, but they had to do it. Those are COBOL programmers.
Oh, okay.
185 COBOL programmers walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Yeah, well, we don't serve you guys. We know you've been unemployed for the last 25 years."
185 COBOL programmers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "Race ipsa loquitur."
185 COBOL programmers walk into a bar, and it was not the disaster they thought it would be.
185 COBOL programmers walk into a bar with an array of problems.
185 COBOL programmers walk into a bar. They order their drinks, they're hanging out, and then it was a raid.
185 COBOL programmers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "Why?" And they say, "2K."
One more.
185 COBOL
Go
bar
ahead.
people, programmers walk into a bar. Bartender's like, wait for it.
Now we're gonna do time travelers. Time travelers, and then that'll carry us out.
185 time travelers walk into the bar, and the bartender said, "Wait, didn't you just walk in a minute ago?"
185 time travelers walk into a bar last night and see the presidential debate on the television and turn around and walk right back out.
185 time travelers walk out of a bar and then walk into the bar.
Yeah.
185 time travelers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "You're all TARDIS."
Mm.
Every 5 time travelers walk into a bar, bartender says, "Glad you're here. Have you seen parsley, sage, and rosemary?"
Uh,
We're going to end it there. I want to thank everybody for watching who is in the audience, and I'd like to thank everybody who's on screen for being here. We have our team that is,
Alfred,
Maya.
Cassie.
and our special guest,
Sophia.
and
Hi.
I'm Jess, and we are here every second and fourth Friday of every month at, let's do it, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, and 6 p.m. Pacific, and equivalent around the rest of the world. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do all of them. I apologize. I'm tired. I'm tired because I've been time traveling. So please join us on our shows. Log into YouTube so that you can add things to the chat that will help fuel our show, because we had some wonderful people in there today giving us suggestions. And I really am glad that you were there, and bye.
Stay cool and hydrated.
Hydrate. Oh yeah, we didn't push hydration today. Be hydrated.